Hello everybody, and welcome to WooNoo, your weekly Universal news and updates, where I go over everything that's happened in Universal Studios Orlando Resort throughout the week. Now let's go ahead and take a look because so much stuff has happened this week, and start out with some general news. So Universal would release some details to the holiday event. They would announce the return of Mannheim Steamroller, sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, who is the best-selling holiday artist of all time. He's coming back, as he's been here before, and the performances will be on December 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. Universal would also send out details on a new holiday tribute store. They would release a blurb for the store that says, "Enter Santa's workshop during the busy season, and check out what our very own Earl the Squirrel is up to. Plus, pay a visit to the Grinch's lair, and form Wizard Winter Celebration at the Yule Ball." This statement shows us room themes will include Santa's Workshop, Earl the Squirrel, the Grinch's Lair, and the Yule Ball from Harry Potter. This also is our first confirmation of, other than the Hall of Fame drawing deal we have gotten, for the store that Earl the Squirrel is coming to the event. And this is very exciting. This tribute store seems amazing, and there was actually a leaked photo, which is probably what you're seeing right now, that looks really cool. That has like the Grinch poster in the background and everything. The last holiday tribute store is pretty amazing, and from the looks of it, they're going to top it this year. Adding to this, Universal would announce the return of the Holiday Tree Hunt, and release a blurb on it that says, "Purchase the Holiday Tree Hunt brochure to enjoy a fun scavenger hunt locating decorated holiday trees in Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and Universal City Walk, and receive a special holiday ornament." This confirms that, like last year, if you purchase the experience, you can get the trees in both parks and City Walk, and that there is an ornament prize. This features a total of 15 trees to find throughout the resort. Universal would also state that there will be seasonal sweets and treats, saying, "'Tis the season to be hungry. Give your taste buds a present this year with exclusive food and drink offerings in the theme parks and Universal City Walk. From specialty donuts to holiday cocktails, which you have to be 21 or older with a valid photo ID to get, and more." They also would state that there will be seasonal merchandise, saying, "From Christmas ornaments to hats, scarves, and more, you can shop your jingle bells off at Port of Entry Christmas Shop in Islands of Adventure and Park Plaza Holiday Shop in Universal Studios." Finally, they would say at the event you can capture some memories, saying, "Look out around the parks for seasonal decor and characters decked out in holiday outfits. You might even snag a selfie with one. Share your pics and tag us with #UniversalHolidays. Out of some holiday stuff, the new Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder button would become available as a Twister-themed button. It looks very cool, and the back reads, "Ride it out, bestie," because what's more twisted than a flying cow indoors? Coming out on the same day, a limited free to Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder Christmas magnet would also become available. And this is very popular, so it'll probably go out of stock soon. A lot of Halloween Horror Nights merchandise across the parks would also become half off, which is a crazy good sale. And starting November 13th, a Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder exclusive Earl the Squirrel ornament will come out that has a limited stock. It will be available in the UOAP Lounge, Tribute Store, and the Port of Entry Christmas Shop. A similar design t-shirt will also become available to UOAPs on November 13th in the Tribute Store, UOAP Lounge, Port of Entry Christmas Shop, and Studio Styles. Holiday tours would also become available for booking on select dates from November 21st to January 2nd. This also implies that the Christmas decor will be up by November 21st and be up until January 2nd. The Halloween Horror Nights website would also be reset, showing black screens and messages to wait for next year, replacing all of the amazingness we had for HHN 30. Also, all of the Halloween Horror Nights food booths would remain standing, but have all theming removed. This might be so that they can be repurposed for the holidays, which I think would be really cool. Also, normal freestyle cups have started taking over the Halloween Horror Nights ones. And In the resorts, freestyle cups have both gone up by a penny, rounding them up to either $10 or $16 at the resort. And the price would go down by 99 cents to have a resort-long cup. I don't know the exact prices, I just know that they've gone up and down. Also, a new Florida resident buy one get a second day free deal would become available. This offer can be gotten by using a coupon found on specially marked cups of Coca-Cola that you can buy at Wendy's. This offer also allows for a $25 admission ticket to Volcano Bay. This deal can be purchased from now through December 16th, and the deal can be used for almost any day from now through February 4th of 2022. This includes dates with the holiday celebration too. Into City Walk. On November the 1st, the Studio Store Halloween Horror Nights display would be immediately removed and replaced with a Grinchmas display. Also, the area selling Halloween Horror Nights merchandise would be replaced with Grinch merchandise. This would bring new feast mode glasses to the inside of the store. And the Halloween Horror Nights medallion and posters would be removed from the Universal Studios arches. The construction walls that are around Quiet Flight Surf Shop for weeks now have consumed the surfing photo op too. And Starbucks would receive a new Universal Studios themed tumbler that features all three parks, similar to some mugs that they also sell. The Legacy Store would also receive new Jaws Wicked Shark, What's Up Chums, and We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat shirts that look really fun. Along with this, new Amity Island Carboneer key rings, which I think is kind of an odd thing to sell, but Universal does what Universal does, magnet clips, and Jaws boxers will become available at the Legacy Store. I'm just saying, you can buy Back to the Future and Jaws boxers. Are we going to have a collection of Universal Studios underwear? Also, some cottage-like food booth tent-like things would be placed around City Walk. I don't really know what these are for, but they're really cool, and one of them is also double-sided apparently. If some food booths are coming up in City Walk, I'm not one to complain. I think that's a great idea. Twosomes would also receive a new vegan right side up shake, which is pineapple upside down cake, brown sugar, caramel pineapple, and oat milk whipped topping. Also, UAP discounts and other discounts can now be used on face masks, something that was not possible before. The Legacy and Studio Store would also receive new retro beanies that are actually really cool and good for the slightly colder weather that Florida is experiencing at the moment. Box Lunch would also receive new red velvet cake pops, and Garland would be added to the Studio Park's arches. Into Volcano Bay real quick, just for some fast updates. Volcano Bay would not be open on most Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout January and February, as announced with the new calendar. And Volcano Bay would also close Friday and Saturday due to inclement weather. And we've just not been experiencing the best weather here in Florida, at least for Florida standards, with colder temperatures and last week having tornado warnings and nonstop rain. Finally, into the parks. In Production Central of Studios, the Beetlejuice set would be removed from the Studio Store, which makes a lot of sense with Halloween Horror Nights being over. Also, the Halloween Horror Nights light-up sign would be removed, along with some signage from the entrance area of the 30 Years 30 Fears Scare Zone. Studio Suites would also receive the Jurassic World Dig jars that were featured in the Jurassic World Tribute Store a few months ago. These are very popular, so it makes sense they'd put them here. Also, a popcorn booth would be prepped to be reopened. This is one that previously had some fancy different kinds of popcorn, so we'll see if those return. They've already returned to Port of Entry and Islands of Adventure, so it would make sense for them to return here too. Also, the Tribute Store Hall of Fame deal would be sold in the Studio Store. And all Halloween Horror Nights merchandise in the Studio Store would also be replaced by Grinchmas merchandise. Into New York, on the final night of Halloween Horror Nights, the Jimmy Fallon building would be changing colors. It used to only be red, but now was rotating. And I know that this is a little bit out of my time zone, but I just saw it because it was at like 2 o'clock in the morning when I saw something about this. Also, the re-released Mummy Ride UOAP button will become available in Sahara Traders. The back reads, Imhotep's Coffee Delivery. I would have enjoyed this button more if I had gotten my cup of coffee. This is a cool button, and as I said previously, it's actually already been released, but I like it a lot. Also, the Earl the Squirrel Hall of Fame cartoon deal has been moved to the Park Plaza holiday shop since the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store has closed. And I also said this about the studio store earlier. This is basically a deal where there's 125 slots that cost $125 a piece, where you can have a cartoon version of yourself displayed in the tribute store for all to see. And I'm assuming you also get the picture afterwards like the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store had. Also, the smaller Seek and Destroy set pieces would be removed, and the larger ones would stay but have all banners and corpses removed. However, later in the week, they too would disappear. The Halloween Horror Nights tribute store facade would also be torn down, and just leave a support structure. However, this support structure would actually change in shape the next day. The Halloween Horror Nights skill games would also be removed from Music Stage Plaza. Also, Minion Mayhem would stop and evacuate guests. We don't really know why, but this happens on a daily basis at Universal Studios Orlando, so it's just a little detail. Also, garland and wreaths would be added around New York. Santa hats and bows would be placed on lanterns. The Christmas tree base would also be set up, and on Saturday, the undecorated tree would be placed. A ton of ornaments and lights will be placed on this, don't panic, but they do that as time goes on. Also, the M would die in the Mel's Drive-In sign. I'm just saying, we asked for some letters to be taken away for Mel's Dine, and we got L's Drive-In. Anyway, in San Francisco, the Crypt TV banners would be taken down, and most props would be taken off of the Crypt TV Scare Zone sets. Also, Fast and the Furious is actually going to close from November 8th and reopen on November the 12th, probably for a quick refurbishment. Over in Men in Black, before the event even ended, a HHN merchandise stand outside of Alien Attack would receive new skeleton and ghost beanies. And the sign would be removed from the tarped over Fear Factor Live sign that was for Halloween Nightmare Fuel, due to the fact that the event ended. And in London and Diagon Alley, a merchandise stand by the Night Bus would receive the Harry Potter beanies, scarves, and gloves that became available not too long ago in the studio store in City Walk. Diagon Alley would also place tons of Christmas decor, consisting of tons of garland on buildings like the Leaky Cauldron, Green Gods, the Daily Prophet, Spindle Warps, Ollivanders, and tons more. And under the clear roofing structures, wreaths and garland would be placed, along with being placed on the brick entryway and a few shops. A dead wreath can also be found at the entrance to Nocturne Alley. Eternelli's Elixir of Refreshment shop would also reopen and be decorated. Later, more similar decor would be placed, including garland and wreaths being placed in London. And later more decor, including lights and trees, would be added to London. And even more would come to Diagon Alley. In the Hollywood section of the parks, the Williams of Hollywood prop shop would place some Christmas decor inside. And the banners would be removed for Lights, Camera, Action, Eddie's Revenge. The small stages from Halloween Horror Nights would also soon be removed, and wreaths and garland would replace them. Neon bows and other designs would soon be added to the lanterns. Also, the Hello Kitty store would receive a new Hello Kitty Kid Robot plush. The store would also receive new Loungefly, and sorry if I messed this up, Cernero Cinnamon Roll backpacks and wallets. The lamppost here would also have Santa hats placed on them. And the lighting rigs would be placed by the Horror Makeup Show, Theater, Central Park, and next to Transformers. In Springfield, all of the Dufftoberfest signs would be removed, but the drink would still be available, most likely until the kegs run out. And in Central Park, most of the Gorewood Forest props will be taken down, except for some of the electrical posts. Over in Islands of Adventure in the Lost Continent, it will be stated by Universal that the All Hallows Eve Boutique was intended to close on Halloween with Horror Nights. However, it would be open with tons of discounted merchandises, and a recently moved Halloween Horror Nights medallion machine that came from the Tribute store. However, it is lacking the Jack the Clown coin. And when I say discounted merchandise, I mean really discounted merchandise. And also, this remained open for the entire week that this update goes for. So I wonder if they actually intend to close it. Because they have a Christmas store that goes year-round, why can't they have a Halloween one? Anyway, in Isla Nublar, aka Jurassic Park, team members are now walking around with a baby Triceratops that guests can interact with that has not been around for a while. And on Thursday, the VelociCoaster would close and refurbishment would be seen done on the top hat, most likely to the ride's trim brakes. This would cause the closure of the bypass bridge and the bottom of the Discovery Center. Later, empty ride vehicles would be seen running on the track. An alarm would also go off at Jurassic Park River Adventure this week, causing it to close. The bridge would reopen the next day. And apparently, you can go on a facility tour of the VelociCoaster and see all of the details, including standing there in the station and watching the ride through the windows for free. I never knew this, and I'm definitely going to be asking every single time I go to Islands Adventure now. Over in Toon Lagoon, Me's ship, the Olive, would reopen most of its play areas. This includes most of the features on the first and second levels, and the top layer actually isn't open. This means that a slide, which the other side is blocked so guests don't climb up to the top level, including some stairs, the water guns, an interactive area with horns, nets, and an interactive piano, and an elevator would open. Hand sanitizer is also available at the ship's entrance. In Hogsmeade, Hagrid's would be delayed on Thursday, not letting guests into the queue. And the Forbidden Journey's gift shop would receive new Harry Potter travel mugs. And Dervish and Banges would receive new Harry Potter house sippers. In Zeus Landing, Hong Kongers would finish its repainting, moving its construction walls and looking a lot more vibrant. And just as a fun thing to end the video with, can we talk about how cool the snow in Universal Studio Beijing looks? It landed in Hogsmeade, and oh my god, the atmosphericness of this. It just looks amazing. All over the Hogwarts Express, the castle, it looks like the thing that they tried to create in Florida, but did it fake. And though it looks good, oh my god, this thing is awesome. It just looks so cool, and I cannot explain to you how much I love the way that this looks. I just don't even know what to say about this. It's amazing. And it would snow throughout the rest of the park, which also looks great, even though it doesn't even fit the theming. I cannot tell you how awesome this is, because this has never been seen in a Universal Studios park before, especially in America. So it's like, just wow. Anyways, that's everything that I found in Universal Studios Orlando this week. This is an extremely long video. I've tried to go a little bit more in depth because I received a comment about that, so I'm happy to do whatever you guys want me to do. And I also just had a ton of stuff to talk about. I have spent hours researching everything that's happened this week, contrary to the past few weeks of my research. Anyways, with all of that said and done, this is Winu, signing off.